This is in memory of Rita Hester. This comes from a political blog called The Daily KOS Costs. And I'm going to read the first page of it to give you a little background on why it was written. It starts out, now we can clearly see why later is not a viable strategy when it comes to people gaining equal rights. When a segment of society, no matter how small, doesn't have equal rights, there is never going to be a better time to work towards their equality. Justice delayed is justice denied. This is not rocket science. It's a matter of ethics and morality. And it certainly doesn't demand being called a selfish prig, as I was yesterday for wanting those equal rights. I have to ask which of the rights enumerated after the break you would be willing to surrender so as not also to be a selfish prig. Here's a basic principle. People should have the right to protection in the workplace from unjust dismissal and/or harassment and or other discriminatory practices in housing, in medical treatment, in public accommodations, and equal treatment by the legal system regardless of sex, gender, and for me, gender is a matter of personal identity rather than being biologically determined at birth, or race or national origin or disability or sexual orientation, or to have their gender and hence their marital status changed from state to state, or religion to which our Constitution has always given priority. To my way of thinking, it can be protected on the basis of your religion, which is something a person chooses. There is no reason people should not enjoy some minimal degree of protections for deciding that life might be worth living if they had a sex change operation.
Amen.
Yesterday, I was informed that equal rights for trans folks are just a personal agenda or a special concern. Just more of those special rights, I guess. And that was at daily cost. So back to the drawing board. It would be great if people who are supposedly Democrats would at least get on board with the equal rights thing. And yes, they are civil rights we're talking about. Even if it isn't about race, civil rights are the rights due to equal citizens. We can't get Democrats on board. How in the hell are we going to make equality happen? Maybe somehow we could add the right not to be murdered. Would that be too much to ask? 2 weeks from tomorrow, when this was printed on the 5th, will be the TDOR. November 20th is the day each year that we remember those who have fallen over the past year due to hatred of us. There are always too many names. TDOR was founded by Gwen Smith to honor Rita Hester, a trans woman of African American heritage who was murdered in Allston, Massachusetts on November 28, 1998. She was viciously stabbed 20 times in her apartment by person or persons unknown. A candlelight vigil was held on December 4th, 1999, which inspired the TDOR project. I expect this year's list of names will be lengthy. What happened after she was murdered was typical and was captured by Nancy Nangeroni. This is in memory of Rita Hester. Skating late last night, I retraced the vigil path, found 2 candles burning on Rita's step. So I added one more and wondered how it felt to feel the knife strike so close to home. They called her a man. They called her a transvestite. They said she lived a double life, but we know better. We know the truth. We know why Rita died. I still hear your mama's cries, haunting the canyons of my mind. You were just too much, girl, for somebody else's world. I glazed into the windows of the bar where you were seen last. I searched each patron's eyes for signs of guilt. I heard again your mama cry, who took away my child, echoing off the canyon walls of brick and steel. I still hear your mama's cries, haunting the canyons of my mind. You were just too much, girl, for somebody else's world. I still hear your mama's cries, haunting the canyons of my mind. You were just too much, girl, for somebody else's world. There's one last excerpt that I'm going to add to this that was written. I won't forget Rita Hester. It's why we have TDOR. I won't forget the vigil we held for her in 1998. Because I am still haunted by the words of her mother. When she came to the microphone during the speak out portion of the vigil at the Bottle Cafe, where Rita was known, her mother repeatedly said in a heartbroken voice that brought us to tears, including myself, I would have gladly died for you, Rita. I stabs and told everyone I loved him. As the vigil processed from Water Cafe to 21 Park Vale Avenue, where Rita lived and died, her mother again brought many tears, and her surviving children kneeled in front of the doorway of Rita's apartment building and recited, as many of us joined in unison with them, the Lord's Prayer. In remembering Rita, let us keep vigil. It's Latin, vigilia, meaning night spent watching against hatred and violence. Thank you.